Hey guys, my name is Kenny Cannon. I am the founder of Cannon Training Technologies. We do millions of dollars in sales every single year with information products, coaching, consulting, things like that. I have nothing at all to sell you on this video whatsoever. We're going to be talking about procrastination and how to overcome it in a completely different way than anyone else has ever taught you before. So make sure you pay attention to this video. Take a lot of notes. I'm not going to be doing a lot of writing on the whiteboard today. I'm going to be doing more talking. So make sure you have a notepad and a pen to jot some stuff down. And also, if you like entrepreneurship, business, sales, marketing, things like that, mindset, changing your life, having a better life, click the subscribe button below and hit the bell to be notified when I release new videos, which is at least once a week. And as the year goes on, it's going to be much more than that. All right, so procrastination. How do we overcome this big thing that we call procrastination that I think everybody suffers with? So before we get into how to overcome it, I want to talk about this little chart that I have written on the whiteboard here. I look at things when it comes to procrastination as two sides of a chart, okay? There's the mandatory side, and we'll talk about that first, and then there's the optional side, okay? Mandatory are things like paying your taxes, taking care of your children, doing the dishes, cleaning your floors, stuff like that, right? Now, when we look at mandatory stuff, the traditional ways of getting over procrastination work. So it's things like they'll tell you just get started, right? That's what they'll say, just get started. Well, they'll say watch your favorite show while you clean the floors or whatever. Listen to your favorite podcast while you clean the floors or do your dishes. All that stuff is great. It's all true. It all works. Okay? We've heard that before 1,000 times. The optional side, though, is different. So the optional side, believe it or not, is your job. The optional side is school. Now, there's going to be a little bit of an asterisk next to this one because if you're someone in the 10th grade watching this video, well, first of all, good for you because you're probably learning more here than you will in your classroom. But that could be mandatory if you're in 10th grade, right? You got to go to school. I mean, that's the only thing you got to do. But if you're in your third year of college, it's not mandatory. It's optional, right? If you're a freshman in college, it's optional. If you're in school right now, if you're in the 11th grade or 12th grade, and you're thinking about going to college, what you want to do after high school's over, that's optional. That's not mandatory. No matter what your parents tell you, your guidance counselor, they're probably all wrong, and they probably don't live a life that you want to live, so ignore them and do what you actually want to do. Whether it's go to college or not, study a certain thing or not, it's completely optional. Your diet is optional, right? Any kind of workout that you do, kind of going off the diet thing, is completely optional. Any kind of routine that you have is optional. Morning routine, evening routine. These are all optional things. And there's a huge list of this, right? These are all optional things. If you're procrastinating on something that is optional, it could be that you're just being lazy. And if that's the case, well, then you have to go over to the mandatory side and just get started, watch something fun while you do something hard, listen to your favorite podcast while you do your workout. You got to do those things. But it also could be a sign that what you're trying to do is not right for you. Now, I'll give you an example. For about 3 years or so of my life, I was 100% convinced that I had to have a morning routine. Why? Because I read a book, talked about a morning routine. I looked into successful people. They all had morning routines. I looked into other types of people. Everybody had a morning routine. So I said, oh, if all these people have a morning routine, I have to have one. So what did I start to do? I started to journal in the morning. I started to read in the morning. I started to exercise in the morning because everybody exercises in the morning. And what I found out was that after the first week or so, I would go through the morning routine and I would get right to work and I would be really productive. And then after about a week or so, I'd get through the morning routine and then I would have breakfast. And then I would watch a little bit of the news. And then I would read a little bit about the news that I just watched. And then I would talk to somebody about what I just saw on the news and what I just read on the internet. And then before I knew it, it was noon. And I didn't get anything done besides my stupid morning routine. So I started thinking about it. This is years now. Started thinking about this and I said to myself, this is not for me, this is not work. Now I'm thinking I'm procrastinating, right? I'm doing my morning routine and then I just can't get to work. Why is that? Why can't I do that? I must be lazy. I must have a problem. The morning routine thing just didn't work for me. So what I decided to do was get up in the morning at a specific time, because for me that works, and get right to work and be done by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I do that now, and I'm the most productive I've ever been in my life. Okay? So for me, the morning routine just didn't work. Now, for me, a strong and long evening routine works really well. I plan my day in advance. I read a lot at night. I journal, and like all these things I do at night, because for me that works. Now you may be sitting here saying, well, I just can't get myself to journal. I just can't do it. So don't journal. It's optional. You don't have to do that. You are going, believe it or not, no matter what the book tells you, and no matter what some stupid video tells you, will live a perfectly fine life if you never write in a journal ever. You will, I promise, you will. You'll live a perfectly fine life if you don't really work out like most people do. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like lifting up a whole bunch of metal just to lift up a whole bunch of metal and then put it down again. That to me is really dumb. I don't do that. I have gymnastics rings. I have a punching bag. I have a sandbag that I throw around my back and I run around my property. I like to chop wood. Whatever. It works out my muscles, right? I like to run. Most people hate to run. I like to run. Something I like to do. I learned to like it. I used to hate it, but I learned to like it. You may not like to run. Someone tells you, oh, you got to run every single day. You got to get out and go for a walk. No, you don't. You just don't. I mean, I'm sorry, but you don't. You can skate. You can row a boat. You can ride a bike. You can ride a freaking horse. Whatever you want to do, whatever is right for you, do that. I'm not saying don't work out. I'm not saying don't exercise. What I am saying is find something that's right for you and do that. And the procrastination will go away very, very quickly. Same thing is true with your diet. If you're someone who's like, oh, well, I listen to this person and he's a paleo person and all these other people are paleo people, so I got to be a paleo person because that's what successful people do. No, it's not. No, it's not. I had a box of chocolate chip cookies right here next to me when I woke up this morning. Now, they were from last night and I put them away. But the point is, you don't have to do any kind of special diet. Now, I'm not saying you live on chocolate chip cookies. I don't. But, as long as you have something that's responsible, where you're not eating McDonald's 45 times a day, you'll be fine. Have some steak and some chicken and some eggs and some salad or whatever. You don't have to stick to some rigid thing. School, same thing. Oh, I can't get this report done. I can't get this, speech done. I can't get this book read, like whatever it is. Maybe that degree is not right for you. You will be okay if you change degrees. Maybe school, I'm talking about college, maybe college is not right for you. Maybe you want to be a painter. That's okay. Maybe you want to be a mechanic. That's okay. Maybe you want to fix computers. That's okay. Maybe you want to do whatever the hell you want to do. That is okay. You don't have to do something. I think a lot of people get into this procrastination thing because they feel like they have to do something that someone else did just because someone else did it. Stop living for other people. Live for yourself. Live for what you want to do. Same thing is true with your job. You don't have to do your job. Do you have to work? Yes, you have to work. But in the environment that we live in right now, in the economy, at least in the United States, in the economy that we live in the United States right now, there's a shortage of workers in almost every industry out there. You can go out and get a job doing whatever you want to do, within reason, obviously. But you can go out and get a job doing whatever you want to do, right? Are you going to take cut and pay? Maybe. Maybe you'll take a raise. Who knows? But the point is, it's an optional thing. You don't have to do what you're doing right now. You could do something completely different. You can continuously, and I suggest you do this, you can continuously reinvent yourself as you go through stages of life. What was right for you when you were 20 might not be right for you now. So think about that. Maybe you're a police officer, right? And you're saying to yourself, man, I'm 40 years old, and when I was 20, I could chase him down with anybody else. Like I was the greatest person in the world. I run after him, I'm good to go. I kick doors down, whatever it is. But now I'm 40 and I'm getting a little achy. I'm 40 and it's like, it's a little bit tougher. Maybe I put on a little bit of weight and chasing down those criminals that are 15 years old, 16 years old. That's a little bit tougher now. Maybe it's not the right job for you anymore. Maybe it's time to do something else. So if you're procrastinating on things that are optional, what I want you to think about is this. Is it a sign that what I'm doing is not right? And I'm telling you right now, if you do that, instead of trying to force it, life becomes a lot easier. And in my business, I see this all the time because, for 15 years, I've been producing and creating information products for people, and mainly in the business, sales, mindset, marketing arena. And I see people all the time like, I have to be an internet marketer. Why? Who ever said that? No, you don't have to be. Well, that's what you do. That's what I do, but you don't have to do that. I teach things that work in any area of life, in any business or any job. You could take the information that I do and sell cars with it. You could take the information that I do and sell boats with it, or do whatever. Do any business you want. You could start a friggin' gas station. Doesn't matter, because it's all the same thing. You don't have to do search engine optimization. You don't have to do that. You can do anything you want. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm telling you right now, I came to this conclusion, this optional and mandatory when it comes to procrastination thing, about a year ago. And here's where this came from. Like I just said, I've been selling information on the internet for 15 years. And I don't know if this is the first video you've ever seen of me. If it is, hi. If it's not, you probably know this. I have hated it the entire time. Hated every minute of it. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out why I sometimes, all the time, procrastinate on shooting a sales video, writing webinar slides, writing email sequences, creating products, mind mapping. But why do I procrastinate? Because I hate it. It's terrible for me. It's not a terrible business. It's a great business. A lot of great people in it. There's a lot of terrible people in it too. But for me, I don't like it. And I never did. But I have a little bit of a conflict because I do like helping people. I honestly do. And I know a lot of people say that I like helping people, so therefore buy my thing for $150. I actually like helping people. And I like it more, believe it or not, when they don't pay me, YouTube people, when they don't pay me. Why? Because now I'm not responsible for your result. See, when you pay me, and this is the big conflict that I have. When you pay me, I'm responsible for your result. You paid me $200 to do something, to take a course, whatever. Now I got to get you a result. I'm responsible for that result, right? But on YouTube, a YouTube video, why do you think I'm doing more YouTube videos? A YouTube video, I still get to help a lot of people, but it doesn't cost you anything. You make your own bed, you got to lay down. You can take this information, do something with it. You can take this information, throw it away. I don't care. It doesn't matter if one person watches this or a million people watch it. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm doing this to help as many people as I possibly can. Whatever happens with it, happens with it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm putting out my knowledge. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't, you don't. But if you pay me for it, then I have to make sure that you get the result. And I don't like that model. To me, that model is there's too much, especially after 15 years. It's just not for me. So I'm putting more information on YouTube completely for free, and I still have some commitments that I have to fulfill, but I'm going to be moving away from creating $17, $27, $47 courses forever over the next year or so. Now, again, I still have some commitments I have to fulfill, and I'm always going to honor my word and do what I told people I was going to do, and I'm going to fulfill those commitments. But the bottom line is that business is just not for me, and I tried to force it for 15 years. And finally, about the middle of last year, I realized, look, I could take all the coaches in the world, like training in the world, and get help from this person, mentorship here, whatever. This is just not the right business for me. Like, I have to just realize that and move forward. So this year in 2022, I decided to put a lot more information on YouTube because I like to help people. And I realized that I'm procrastinating because what I'm doing is not mandatory. It's optional. And I could do something else. And I'm not going to get into it now, but I've moved a lot of my time, my work time, into another business completely outside the internet. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. completely outside of that, and I absolutely love every minute of it. And look, it's still work. I'm not saying like I'm just sitting here playing games. It's still work, but I don't procrastinate about it because I actually enjoy it. It's super profitable. I'm pretty good at it, and it's not that I like it. It's not that bad. So if you're sitting here procrastinating about your job, it could be that you're just lazy. That's possible. And if it is, then look at the mandatory stuff. Do something that you like while you're doing your job. Something stuff like that. But I can almost guarantee you 95% of the people watching this video, it's not because you're lazy. It's because you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. You're forcing it. You're doing something that's not right for you. It's a sign to look for other opportunities. So I'll leave you with that. If you're procrastinating on things that are optional, is it a sign that you should be looking for more opportunities? Is your procrastination something that you should be getting excited about? Not upset about, not beating yourself up over, something you should be getting excited about because now you finally have the excuse to go look for something else. You're realizing that the procrastination is not a sign of you being lazy. It's a sign of you doing something that's not for you, that you shouldn't be doing. So therefore, now you get to have the exciting job of finding a new opportunity, finding something different, finally doing something that you actually want to do, that you're good at, that's profitable. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, my name is Kenny Cannon, the founder of Cannon Training Technologies. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we release videos. We always release videos at least once a week, but as the year goes on, it will be become much more frequent, and we'll be releasing them probably 2 or 3 times a week. All right, so that is all. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Take care.